For every swing, every moment, the Milwaukee Brewers fight. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about leaving a legacy.
What's up, my beloved Brew Crew? Welcome back to our channel, the meeting point for every passionate Milwaukee Brewers fan who seeks more than just the final score. Here we dive deep, we bring the exclusive information, the analysis you won't find anywhere else. I'm your partner on this journey, always digging for the details, the behind-the-scenes conversations, and what truly matters for the future of our franchise. Before we get into today's bombshell news, which involves a big name and a strategic decision that could define our season, I need to ask for that usual favor. If you want to receive these in-depth analyses and first-hand updates as soon as the news breaks, click that subscribe button now and turn on notifications. Being part of our group means you're always one step ahead, understanding not just what's happening, but why it's happening. Your subscription strengthens our channel and allows me to keep bringing this exclusive content directly to you. Don't be left out. Join our community of informed fans. That said, let's get to it, because the front office in Milwaukee is facing a complex scenario, a good problem as they say, but one that could result in one of the most surprising and impactful trades of the season. The main topic circulating behind the scenes, which I've been investigating with my sources, is the state of our starting pitching staff. What was an area of concern at the beginning of the year, with injuries and uncertainties, has transformed into such a point of strength that it now creates a surplus of talent. And at the center of this discussion is a name that arrived not long ago, but is already generating intense debate. Former New York Yankees All-Star, Neestor Cortez Jr. The news that's gaining traction, and has been echoed by analysts like Tremaine Person of Fansided, is that his stay in Milwaukee might be shorter than we imagine. The issue is simple on the surface, but complex in its implications. With Cortez's imminent return from the injured list, the Brewers will have 6 top-caliber starting pitchers for just 5 rotation spots. We have Freddie Peralta, performing like the ace we always knew he could be, and a strong Cy Young Award candidate. We have the triumphant return of Brandon Woodruff, who despite his time away, proves with every pitch why he's considered one of the best in the league. We have the meteoric rise of the phenom Jacob Misiorowski, whose rookie season is exceeding all expectations and putting him in the Rookie of the Year conversation. We have the pleasant surprise of Quinn Priester, who has evolved exponentially and established himself as a reliable and consistent piece. And finally, the veteran and stabilizing presence of Jose Quintana. Where exactly does Neestor Cortez fit in? This is where General Manager Matt Arnold's strategy comes into play. Cortez is a pending free agent at the end of the season, which automatically makes him an extremely valuable asset on the trade market, which closes on July 31st. The logic is clear. Instead of trying to fit 6 men into a 5-man rotation and risking losing Cortez for nothing in the offseason, why not capitalize on his value now? Other teams, especially those fighting for a playoff spot and in desperate need of a left-handed pitcher with proven postseason experience, would be willing to pay a high price. His current rehab starts, therefore, not only serve to prepare him for a return to the mound at American Family Field, but also function as a showcase for the rest of the league. Teams like the Baltimore Orioles, the San Diego Padres, or even the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are always looking for reinforcements for the final stretch, are surely keeping a close eye. The possibility of trading Cortez isn't a reflection of his ability, but rather a pragmatic move to optimize the roster. The front office might feel that the current rotation is already strong enough to carry the team, and that the value obtained for Cortez could be used to address other needs. Perhaps an elite arm for the bullpen or an impact bat for the outfield. It would be a difficult and for many painful decision to part with a talent like Cortez so quickly. However, in modern baseball, and especially under the management of Matt Arnold, who is known for his proactivity and data-driven decisions, sentimentality takes a back seat. The goal is to assemble the most complete roster possible for a World Series title run. And if that means sacrificing a luxury piece in an area of surplus to strengthen an area of need, that is a decision that is certainly being considered in the club's offices. The question isn't whether Cortez is good enough for the Brewers, but whether he's more valuable to us on the mound or as a trade chip to build an even more formidable team for October. On the other hand, there's an equally strong and perhaps even more compelling argument for keeping Neestor Cortez Jr. and embracing the idea of a six-man rotation, or at the very least, having an elite depth that few teams in the MLB can boast. The maxim in baseball, especially for teams aiming for the postseason, is that you can never have enough pitching. The season is a 162-game marathon, and history shows us that injuries are inevitable. Keeping Cortez isn't a luxury, it's a premium insurance policy. Let's look at the recent history. Brandon Woodruff just returned from a significant injury. While he looks fantastic now, counting on his full durability for the rest of the season and into the playoffs would be an optimistic bet. Any setback with him and Cortez's absence would be felt immediately. Furthermore, we have the young Jacob Misiorowski. He has been spectacular, but as a rookie, the team is certainly monitoring his workload. The transition to the MLB level is demanding, and many young pitchers hit a wall or need to have their innings limited down the stretch. Having a sixth starter of Cortez's caliber would allow the team to manage Misiorowski's innings, keeping him strong and healthy for the decisive games of October without overburdening the rest of the rotation. The same logic applies to Quinn Priester, who, despite his excellent performance, is also in a workload territory that may be new for him. The depth that Cortez offers goes beyond just filling a spot. It allows for strategic flexibility that could be the difference between winning the division and an early exit in the playoffs. A six-man rotation, even if temporary, can keep all arms fresher and more potent for the home stretch. Freddie Peralta, our ace, would benefit from an extra day of rest between starts, ensuring he's at the peak of his form in every appearance. The Brewers front office needs to weigh the potential gain from a trade against the immense risk of being left without depth at a critical moment. Trading Cortez for a bullpen piece, for example, seems logical on paper. But what if that trade is made and 2 weeks later one of the starters gets injured? The team would be in a much more vulnerable position than it is now. Keeping Cortez also offers the option of using him creatively. He could serve as an elite swingman, making spot starts and acting as a high-impact long reliever in the playoffs, a role that has become increasingly valuable in modern baseball. His experience and his ability to handle pressure would be a monumental asset in any role. The decision, therefore, comes down to a roster-building philosophy. Do you bet on the health and continued consistency of your current 5 starters and use the surplus to patch a smaller hole? Or do you prioritize resilience and depth, recognizing that the strength of a championship team often lies in its number 6, 7, and 8 players on the depth chart? It's a choice that will define the Brewers' ability to withstand the adversities of the season's final stretch. Final analysis and question for the fans. In short, the Neestor Cortez Jr. situation places the Brewers front office at a fascinating strategic crossroads. On one hand, market logic suggests that trading a valuable pending free agent who represents a surplus in an area of strength is the smartest move to reinforce the roster overall. On the other, the brutal reality of a long season and the quest for a World Series title cry out for maintaining a pitching depth that is, frankly, an elite competitive advantage. Trading Cortez might bring in a good reliever, but keeping Cortez protects the team against the disaster of a rotation injury. My analysis, based on Matt Arnold's history and philosophy, is that he will listen to offers. He wouldn't be a good GM if he didn't. However, the asking price for Cortez will be astronomically high, precisely because the Brewers understand the value of their depth. Unless a team offers an immediate, controllable impact solution for a clear need, I believe prudence will win out, and the Brewers will find a way to manage this overcrowding of talent, knowing that this depth is their best weapon for the marathon that stretches into October. Now, I want to hear from you, the Brew Crew. Which path do you think the front office should take? Should we trade Neestor Cortez Jr. to strengthen the bullpen or another area, trusting in the strength of our current 5 starters? Or is the rotation depth sacred and too valuable to break up, serving as our best insurance policy for a serious title run? Leave your opinions in the comments below. For more exclusive analyses, breaking news, and in-depth discussions like this one, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. Your voice is crucial to this community.